An unidentified man has shot his wife and 16-year-old son to death before turning the gun on himself.
Jesus.
What?
I don't believe this.
What? Is there something with the camera? Just fix it.
She's still moving.
There's a backup here. There's a backup here.
Get off here! Are you all right?
Jesus.
It had lost touch with its roots, which was Night of the Living Dead, which was a little guerrilla film made by, you know, a bunch of us young guys, amateurs, not professionals yet. Still not.
That's us.
We're
over here.
You're the
We're at the kids' table over here.
We're still just horsing around. And I had this idea. It was actually, the idea was in the can, so to speak. I had written a treatment. Actually, I had written a script, but it was very, very loose. I wanted to do something about this emerging media. And you know, the dangers of it, you know, like there's this multi-tentacled beast out there that we're all sort of plugged into. And two things about it, that we're all sucked into the idea of becoming reporters. We're invited to become reporters, you know. CNN says, hey man, if there's a tornado outside, go get me a shot, I'll put it on the air.
I mean, it's interesting that, you know, after Land of the Dead, there isn't a whole lot of zombie action in this one. It's all about the theme. It's all about, you know, the dynamic that comes from all the characters and whether they should be shooting when they're not shooting and stuff like that. I mean, was it a conscious effort to kind of reel back some of the zombie action a little bit?
Not so much that, no. It was, I wanted to look at it from a more distant lens. And I wanted it to be more like Night of the Living Dead. And the zombies in Night of the Living Dead, even though they are approaching this farmhouse, they're incidental to the story. They could be any disaster, you know. It could be an earthquake out there, a hurricane, anything.
When I saw it, it was at Fantastic Fest in Austin, and most of the questions in the Q&A were about the human element of it. And even the way it starts and ends, it's that question of what have we become, which I think is so evident in Diary of the Dead. It's not really just about the zombies, it's more about the human experience.
Yeah.
Thematically, I mean, and you kind of touch on the living are almost as soulless as the dead. I mean, even the kids who are sitting behind a camera, because everybody is getting plugged in and experiencing everything through the web, through YouTube and MySpace and stuff like that. So it's like everybody's just slowly becoming soulless.
Well, I mean, you know, Christ, magazine, newspaper, subscriptions, everything, you know, it's all now this thing,
well, it's just like there's an instant
connection.
There's an instant gratification to it too. It's like, who's going to get it up first, you know? And that was one of the things that I really connected to, at least in the first act of the film, where suddenly they're going online and there's more people out there putting up posts about it, you know, and that's, I mean, it's very telling, you know. I mean, when 9/11 hit, we weren't quite yet in the, you know, the instant media age. You know, it took a couple minutes before you read, you know, a reaction. Now you could put something up in 30 seconds, you know, and that's what was so like really frightening about that first, like those first moments out there in the woods with the kids, is that they were discovering purely based on where they were in that location, and because of the technology, you know, all you need is a laptop to be connected to the world. And all of a sudden, there's someone. I think it was someone in, you know, in Japan or Tokyo. There was an Asian woman that pops up, and it's like that's all we need, because we're getting a YouTube post over here, or somebody just blogged on their MySpace that their mom just attacked them.
Well, everyone's a filmmaker now, because the camera is actually in your phone now for most people.
Or on your laptop.
Everybody's got
it. The shootings at Virginia Tech, it's all shots out the window with people with camera phones.
And they can send those in seconds.
In seconds, yeah, it's out there.
And everybody becomes a director and a storyteller, you know. I mean, you often hear so many times people saying, well, you know, just keep your camera with you, and if you want to be a director, just go shoot stuff and cut it together, and, you know, that's how you get experience. So a lot of people, they just, you know, that's what they do now. It's like you can shoot anything you want. You can take your favorite movie and cut it into a trailer and give it a different theme, or
those are always the best things on YouTube.
You can do whatever you want, which is again, you know, I mean, looking back at Night of the Living Dead, you know, that scene where they bring the TV up from downstairs and everyone's around the TV, because that was their only mode of communication at the time. I mean, even looking back at like the movie Signs, which I thought the most interesting thing about that movie was when Joaquin Phoenix is in that closet and he's watching the TV, and you see that one shot where the alien walks in front of the birthday party, and it's shocking. I mean, literally, his reaction and your reaction as the theater goer is, it's amazing because suddenly you're going, wait, I'm seeing something I'm not supposed to see. Nowadays, you can see so much on the internet. It's like, how do you grab people and how do you get them to be mesmerized by the visuals that you're going to put up there? Of course, nothing's more mesmerizing than the real thing. You know, when you see those images, it's really.
It's also.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
On our end of it, I think it's getting harder to scare people too, because you can see the real thing. You can watch somebody get their head chopped off on TV now. It's getting harder to scare people with fantasy because the reality is so much scarier.
Yeah.
And that's what we tap into. I mean, one of the things that's so interesting now, in the current climate of cinema, is that we have 8, 9 movies that are coming out that are found footage films. I mean, Diary of the Dead, just one of them, Redacted, and Paranormal Activity, and Cloverfield. I mean, it is just like a lot of your work. It's a kind of reflection of the times.
Yeah, well, I thought I was going to be the first guy out there.
Well, you were the first one to shoot it. That's
shoot it.
But the problem is everyone read that and went, oh shit, we got to do a movie now and beat Romero.
Yeah, I mean.
At least I'm part of a trend. I can say.